Welcome to episode 41 of the Family Life Mornings podcast.
Gergen, Mahigan, Verlugen, I believe. I'll just have to assume that means something good.
And we've got more where that came from. I hope you want to stick around for it.
Hope you don't mind that we started the show without you. We just couldn't wait.
Family Life Mornings with Steve, Therese, and Randy.
Not unusual by any means to see one of those big box trucks making a delivery to a house. This one, however, was the most unusual and certainly could be described as the best home delivery ever, because there was a family in Colorado who was doing some home construction and repair. So it wasn't unusual to see a bunch of trucks around their house, but this one came up and delivered a 61-pound catcher. Well, now's the time of the story where you say, what is a 61-pound catcher? I've never heard of that.
Right.
61-pound catcher. Well, Catcher is their 3-year-old golden retriever's name, who, because of the construction workers, the door had been left open, and 61-pound Catcher had gotten out.
Uh-oh.
Well, the big delivery truck had seen this around the neighborhood, so the delivery guy got the dog, put him in the truck, because he saw a tag around his
Right.
collar.
Yeah.
Right? Had
I
the
know
address.
that dog. Yeah.
Brought him right back to the home. So how many other packages have you had that when you get delivered to your house, licks you in the face?
God gives us each new morning. We give you the encouragement to get through it. This is Family Life.
Pay attention while you're driving. All kinds of distracted driving out there, most common being your phone. And then there's eating. That's a fairly common one as well. There's all kinds of other ones. This one, police in Ohio had never heard of before, but they stopped a lady. She was caught knitting while driving.
Crazy.
Usually it's the other way around. Usually police blanket the area. But
Oh, yeah. The officers had a hard time, though, because they yelled, "Ma'am, pull over." And she said, "No, it's a scarf. It's not a pullover."
Silly policeman.
If you can't say it in front of your kids, you won't hear it on Family Life Mornings.
3-year-old Oscar Haskell was in intensive care with a rare brain condition. He had 26 different tubes going into his body. Wow. So machines were basically keeping him alive. Then his heart rate skyrocketed. Doctors called in Oscar's mom and prepared her for the worst because Oscar just was not responding to anything that they were doing. Then they called in Leo to provide an alternative treatment. And after a minute, Oscar's heart rate stabilized, but he still hadn't moved. And then a minute later, he smiled. Oscar is now 7 years old, and he gets better every day. Still has a ways to go, but he keeps getting better, and he has formed a really strong friendship with Leo. Leo happens to be a golden retriever, and
Best dog
when
ever.
he put his paw in Leo's hand 4 years ago, that's what started Leo on the road to recovery. Gotta love those golden retrievers, huh?
Best dog ever. Just saying. I mean,
Do you have any more opinions on that, Therese? Or?
If I was going to rank him, I'd put him probably at the top. Yeah.
Fun conversation, good music, and something to think about. Family Life Mornings.
It is well documented. Anybody who knows me well or listened to the show for any length of time knows that I am not your fixer-upper guy around the house. I'm not good fixing things, never have been.
Right.
So I just stay away from those things generally. However, I have found a group of people who I'm actually more advanced than this. And it's not just infants just born, okay? Don't be a wise guy.
We're not going to put you in with the infants.
Thank you. These are actual millennials. They surveyed over 2,000 millennials born in the late 1990s to early 2000s. And here's a list of things they can't do by themselves. And I looked at the list. I'm like, okay, draining a radiator. I've never done that either. Putting up wallpaper. I've actually never done that either. Painting. I've done that, but I don't like it. Tightening up a loose cabinet. I've actually done that. A cabinet door. I've actually done that. So that's good. But here's the thing. And I couldn't even believe this. Over 2,000 adults and a high percentage, or a percentage of them anyway, has never, and they don't even do it, change a light bulb. They just let it sit there for weeks and then let somebody else do it. Let's see, loose screws. Yeah, I have some of those. But here's, so these.
I tried not to laugh.
Wait a minute, these are millennials, so that would be like college age, right? I mean,
20,
Yeah.
20
Yeah.
like
something,
college age.
yeah.
I could teach a college class on Fixer Upper, and I can teach them. Show them my 2 favorite tools that I use.
Your 2 favorite tools?
Yeah.
Which are?
My phone and my checkbook.
Great way to get things fixed, Steve.
That's the best way ever.
Thanks for making us a part of your day. We're a friend you can turn to. Family
The
Life.
CDC says if you want to fight colds, flus, coronavirus, whatever, wash your hands for 20 seconds. They say it's if you sing happy birthday twice, but some people are like, oh, I don't want to sing happy birthday twice. So we got some great ideas from you. Kathy commented on our Family Life Mornings Facebook page. She said, if you say space, the final frontier, these are the voyages of the Starship Enterprise. Its continuing mission to explore strange new worlds, to seek out new life and new civilization, to boldly go where no one
has gone
Right. If you do that, it takes
Wow.
about 20 seconds. I found that if you say John 3:16, for God so loved the world, that
Right.
scripture 3 times, it's 20 seconds. So just repeat that. Dawn in Warren Center texted us. She said, especially if you're in a public restroom, if somebody comes walking in, take about 20 seconds and say something nice to a stranger, and that will help you pass the time. And then Joe in Attica says this is a really
Wow.
far
Joe
out
usually has
idea.
great things, so I'm going to write
Yes.
this one down. Okay.
He said,
Yeah.
count to 20.
Where does Joe come up with these things?
That's deep.
Thanks, Joe.
Thanks, Joe.
Please excuse our enthusiasm. We just love spending time with you.
Family Life Mornings with Steve, Therese, and Randy.
I believe we've all heard of endangered species of animals, and we know about those, but I'd never heard of endangered languages. Amazed to see that there's 7,000 languages spoken worldwide, and there's about 500 of them that are in danger of being forgotten and lost to history. So there's a guy who started a nonprofit to save some of these languages so they have them in the history books and in the annals and recordings and things like that. He started a nonprofit called WikiTongue, which sounds like you should gargle after you read it. I mean, true story.
See your doctor.
Yeah, see if you have WikiTongue. But anyway, so it's kind of a neat idea to preserve the languages that are endangered, may not be around any longer. They interviewed one of the people from one of the endangered languages and asked what they thought of the idea, and they said, let's see here, Gergen, Mahigen, Verlugen, I believe. I'll just have to assume that means something good. Quoting again, Gergen, Mahigen, Verlugen. I'm not sure what that means.
Because 3 hosts are better than 1, or 2 for that matter. This is Family Life, and we are a friend you can turn to.
In my mind, I have a green thumb. Like, I want to have a green thumb.
Yeah.
So, like, I'll get plants, and I'll think that I'm going to take good care of them. And then they give up on me, especially succulents, because everybody says, oh, succulents are so easy. Nope, I kill them every single time. So I feel like Kaylee could be like my kindred spirit. Kaylee has worked so hard, and she has kept this little succulent alive for 2 years. 2 years. It's so green, so lush. And she's like, I want to put it in a different pot, a prettier pot. So she goes to transplant it. There are no roots. It's just glue and a block of styrofoam. That plant is fake. It's the only kind of plant that I can keep alive.
Good job. Good job.
I feel your pain, Kelly. I feel you.
Starting your day with a smile and a dose of encouragement, too. Family Life
Well,
Mornings.
here's a job posting you don't see very often. Astronaut.
Yeah. Okay.
When you were a kid, did you want to be an astronaut?
Yeah, there was a time when I wanted to go to space.
Yes, the final frontier. Well, NASA is looking for people who want to go to the moon. So I don't know if you want to go there. You have to be a U.S. citizen. You have to have a 4-year degree in math, science, or engineering. And it also helps if you've got some computer skills, like if you have a master's or PhD in some computer. I mean, they want to make sure that the person with the computer skills can help with like the gizmos they're called gizmos, right? Or are they the jiggies? I'm probably not qualified.
Is the sun breaking through yet? He is the dawn. You're getting your day started with Family Life Mornings.
Would you ever want your 20-something brain back? Remember when you were younger and you didn't have to wonder why you walked into a room?
Yeah. I mean, there are some pros and cons to that, Therese.
There are. Actually, that's the time of our lives when we're most reckless. And sometimes when you're that age, you just do things without thinking. I'm sure you did. I know I did. But the brain of a 20-something is also the most creative. I mean, even looking back in history, you see people were often that young when they came up with some pretty amazing, remarkable, life-changing ideas. And the reason why that brain works the way it does is because the decision-making area is not fully formed. So it's not completely developed yet. There's some developmental immaturity. So, yeah, your fully grown adult brain is probably going to keep you safer in the long run. But you got to work a little harder to come up with something fun to do, you know? So just plan for a little fun like a 20-something would.
Are you just starting your day? Well, so are we. It's Steve, Therese, and Randy on Family Life Mornings.
There's an owner of a restaurant in Tijuana, Mexico, and he had his kitchen stocks depleted by a rush of visitors from just over the border in the United States. Now, we're talking almost 100 years ago. The date was July 4th, 1924, Independence Day, and the Americans really wanted to celebrate, but Prohibition prevented them from drinking, so they rushed across the border and went to this Tijuana restaurant. And because so many showed up, the chef pretty much ran out of food, and all he had left was lettuce, eggs, olive oil, croutons, and Worcestershire sauce. So he threw all of the ingredients together. Now, the name of the owner was very important. His name was Caesar Cardini. And that's how we got the Cardini, no, not the Caesar's salad. That's how Caesar salad came about. It's wrapped around Independence Day.
Wow, I can't wait to see what random creations come out of my kitchen, you know, as our food supply depletes in the next few weeks.
You know we're friends because we're already on a first-name basis. It's Family Life Mornings with Steve, Therese, and Randy from Family Life, a friend you can turn to.
You know, I've been thinking a lot about coronavirus. I think we all are. It really has escalated this week. It's like Monday, it was a blip, and then now it's like all-consuming. And as I was going from store to store yesterday to get a few things that my family still needed, I realized we're all in this together. And we live in a world where a lot of times the government or some other group will come to the rescue of a citizen when help is needed. But right now, we're learning that personal responsibility is where it's at. It means everybody needs to do what they can to benefit the entire population. This is not every man looking out for themselves. This virus is highly contagious, it's easily spread, and it can be dangerous. So if you have the ability to work or do school from home, do it and stay home. Don't go out if you don't need to. If you have a choice about whether you leave home or don't, choose wisely. If you have the means to prepare, buy what you need, but leave enough for other people. That means that other people who don't have choices, you know, people who work in healthcare or have jobs where they have to be present will be able to go and do those things and keep our life running the way we know it without getting sick. If we all do our best, if we all do what we can, it is better for everyone because at the end of the day, we're all in this together.
Well, hello there, sunshine. Welcome to Family Life Mornings with Steve, Therese, and Randy.